Guildmistress Sandra Dent of the Free City of Silverwall greets you with some curiosity. Legendary Quill 18! Goddamn right. And it's rare for Silverwall to meet an ascended champion like you. Nevertheless, we ask that you respect the territory and the independence of Silverwall. So this is a mortal. We are something called Gondir, I think, in this game. We're sort of like these demigod type people or whatever. But this is a mortal leader of this realm. So let's see if the people of Silverwall are of interest. So this is a free city. They're not part of the faction system. A Gaudir. Gaudir? Okay, not Gondir. This is basically like a city-state, right? A free city. We can interact with them. We can do a few things. We can declare war on them. But here's the thing. I actually quite like the vassalizing system in this game. Plus, if we vassalize them, we can integrate them later on as well. They actually are in a great mood with us. They have a Materium affinity, as we do, so we're getting the 150 boost to our relations with them. Also, there's two types of heroes you can start off as. There's the Champion of People, sort of a warrior type that we are, and then there's more of a wizardy kind of one. They both have advantages. The Champion also generates more gold from the city. The wizard one generates more mana. Yeah, I didn't level the hero yet. Good point. So the Champion here also has an extra boost to relations, which is quite important because these relations are going to give us free allegiance per turn. And we can give them a Whispering Stone. Currently we have one Whispering Stone. We're going to use this. It's like it's the thing from Lord of the Rings, the Palantir. It's basically one of those. Full of a took. So if we look here, our allegiance is going to grow at 3 per turn currently. And that includes partially because we have these respectful relations. So that's quite nice. Currently, we are neutral, but we are cruising towards a Pact of Cooperation. We'll get there in 4 turns. When we get there, it's going to open borders, it's going to enable trading, and then from there, we can also move into Pact of Loyalty, and then finally Pact of Vassalage. Now, you can boost this. Right now, so we're in the Pact of Cooperation. You can spend Imperium, and what it does, it sort of scoots you halfway down this. You can do that one time per one of these sections here, per level of relationship. And this might be a really good thing for us to do. I'm especially keen on doing this when someone else is competing for the allegiance of one of these free cities. Currently, I think I want to continue trying to save it up so we can set ourselves up a second city as quickly as possible. But it is very tempting, because what happens when you get to the vassalage stages, and actually there's multiple steps in vassalage itself as well, they start giving us a percentage of all their income. I think it starts at 30%, but then it grows to 40, and then I think 50 is as good as it gets, which is pretty nice. Yeah, we want to spend Imperium on all the things. That's always a good sign in a strategy game, is when there are resources, and you always feel like you don't have enough resources. In fact, that tends to be a sign that you're playing it right. If you accumulate a bunch of something, that's generally a sign that, like, what are you doing with all this accumulated gold? Gold does nothing when it's just sitting in your bank. You got to find things to spend it on. 50 is less than 100. True, but I mean, to conquer it, we have to build a bunch of army, go over there, spend a bunch of time. There might be other things that we could better updo. We can just straight up conquer them. We can declare war, although we don't have an army right now, although they probably don't have much of it. But I'm more interested, I think, in going out west. We've got some open territory over here, and establishing a new town. So we're basically healed, which is great. Oh yeah, I still need to level up Quill here. So we are level 2. So we got this. There are 3 categories of skills that you can level up in: warfare, battle magic, and support. And they're all pretty good. Now, a lot of these have requirements, like if you want to get endurance training, you need 3 more support skills. So you kind of want to specialize. Looks like Quill here did start with a level of vigor, which is a support skill. So we could put more in there. For example, it might be really good to pick up Experienced Leader, which gives the rest of your units in your army experience points every turn. They get stronger, they just generically get better, which is awesome. I think for Quill, I want to make him a warfare expert. The battle magic's really cool. We'll pick up another hero and we'll make them focused on battle magic. For Quill, we're just going to keep like beating people upon the head while hopefully finding a cool mount. No offense, Pony, but we can do better than this. So I think I'm going to look over here. It is worth noting, if you wield a 2-handed weapon, well, they're not specifically listed as 2-handed, but that's what they are. 2-handed weapons disable your secondary weapon slot as well as your mount. So at some point, we'd kind of have to make a decision for that. If you are going to do 2-handed, I think Sprint's a really good one to pick up so that your character who doesn't have a mount would otherwise still has a good closer. I kind of like the idea of Quill generally being on a pony or something like that if we can. So we'll see. For now, Quill's pretty tanky. I don't know if we need to invest more in defense. So I might just put into fighting. There's bolstering as well, which is pretty good, actually. At once per turn, so when the unit gets hit, you get a stack of bolstering defense, so more defense. And it stacks up to 5 times. I mean, it's only 1 per turn, but the more Quill gets hit, the tougher he'll sort of become. That's kind of nice. Fighting is just straight up 10% more melee damage. You can also just get more defense all the time. Also built-in evasion, which is kind of good. I mean, we don't want Quill to die, although your ruler, when they die, they do respawn back your capital after a few turns. Oh, obsidian weaponry actually is kind of funky cool. 60% chance of inflicting bleeding, which is 8 damage per turn and probably lasts for 3 turns. I don't like that's only 60%. Bolstering's good if the hero gets dogpiled. You only gain 1 stack per turn is the difference. So ideally with bolstering, you want to get hit exactly once per turn, every turn. I don't know if obsidian weapon upgrades any further than this. I think it's always a good sign of a game when you're like not entirely sure. I mean, it does mean that 60% of the time will effectively do 8 bonus damage. Possibly 16 bonus damage. You know what? Let's get it. It's cool. It sounds awesome. Let's do that. So I convinced myself. 60% of the time is extra 8 damage, which means, so it's 4 and change average extra damage. Oh, you're right. And we can hit multiple times per round, which does dramatically increase the chance that the bleed does get applied. That's a good point. Now, how do we feel about this fight here? It says a low-risk battle. Only 1 tier 1 critter. All right. Let's go and boop this. I don't know what you're guarding. I don't know if we can tell. Magic material. Oh, this is when we annex it. It's actually a really good spot. This is probably going to be a great place for us to put in a city. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Hey, Quill, pay attention. There's a new subscriber.
So again, we'll go into manual combat, but mostly use the automated thing, because otherwise I spend way too long in combat, and we're never going to get anywhere. Thanks for the sub. Lots of new subs coming in. I'm going to try, after we're done the sponsored part of the stream, I'm going to try to properly address all the subs. So yeah, do that. I'll leave it on normal speed, let's say. And then yeah, after the enemy is done making their move, I'm going to take off the automation and decide what I want to do. You can favorite spells. These are our spells over here. You can see the little star. If I go and do this, you see it goes away. So you can have up to 3 favorited spells for convenience on the user interface, which is great. No reason for me to use our heal currently.
Quill, pay attention. There's a new
So
subscriber.
I think I'll just drop a rock. There you go. This person here is going to take the most damage out of 20. Seems great. Boom.
Hey,
You haven't
Quill,
tried the
pay
Caveman to
attention.
Cosmos mod for Civ 4 in 11 years, have you? It's been worked on a lot. That is a great mod for Civ 4. I love it, especially because they added me as a general in there. So, you know, what's not to love? Favorite spell is an awesome addition, yeah. It's been a while since I played Age of Wonders 3, and actually Planetfall as well. So I don't remember, like, what the user interface in those games were. But everything... Oh, I didn't realize there's a special trait here. Hang on. But everything about the UI in this game is great. There's a couple of things that I think there's going to be some adjustments for. We'll talk about those in a bit. Arcanium Tremors. Every 2 turns, all non-floating, non-flying attacking units, that's me, suffers 20 physical damage. That's bad! That's real bad! Oh my god! Every single one of my units is going to take 20 damage next turn. Oh well. There we go. I think it just happened. Now, it is physical damage, so our defense does apply to that. So it's actually not as bad as I might have feared. Originates from Marauder Guard. Oh, I think all these guys are the Marauder Guards. That's just the faction, I believe. I don't think it's an individual critter here. So, Quill is being hammered pretty heavily here, including by a pikeman, which is unappealing, because Quilla does take bonus damage from that. But yeah, it's a Copper Golem, Lesser Stone Spirit, Gargoyle, and another Copper Golem over here. So yeah, Marauder Guard is just the faction. So what are we going to do for Quill? Well, I should probably just heal him. So we'll give him some temporary hit point and a couple more stack of bolstered defense, which sounds like a pretty good idea. And I don't actually want to use... Oh no, yeah, I could use Strength and Steel, which would heal him more. He'd lose his stacks of defenses, but he would gain a bunch of Strengthen. Could also just, like, attack. But no, I think the right thing to do is to move this fella forward. I mean, that will be overhealing, though. What are we down by? 20 plus 20. Or 80. I think we have 60 actual hit points plus the 20 temp HP. So we're effectively at 80. Because otherwise, this bar would be full. Because it looks like 80 plus 20, which would be 100, but our bar is clearly not full. So I'm thinking we're actually at 60 plus the 20 temp. So it would overheal him. That's not the end of the world. It would give him a bunch of strengthen, so he would absolutely obliterate these neighbors. On the other hand, we could just apply some damage to these guys. And yeah, defense tactics, good point. But if we go here, we'll flank this guy, only for one attack. Now, this guy is certainly more threatening, but on the other hand, the chance to hit him is worse. The reason he's more threatening is because he does have the anti-cavalry bonus. Kill him, huh? I mean, you're definitely just gonna attack this guy, it's fine. I don't want to strip away his bolstered defense. So we'll just save it, and then we can do a big heal on him next turn. Hey, we got the hit. Good. All right. Oh, right, and Quill still hasn't acted. They're all immune to bleed. I might just go and shield wall him. Then we can't be flanked either. These guys are immune to bleed. I don't know if you noticed when I was mousing over them. They're immune to bleed because of the type of critters they are. Actually, totally immune to all negative status effects, these copper golems, and the same thing for the gargoyles here. I think because they're made out of stone, like copper and stone. There you go. I think blocking here was a good idea. That's the other thing with the, I guess, the obsidian thing is we didn't think about it. It's not going to apply to all types of creatures. Wow, this guy really wanted to go and attack this guy. If anyone can make stone bleed, it's a dwarf. I love it. All right, you're dead. Good. So, I mean, I can probably just automate the rest of this. I will drop a... rock blast over here. There you go. I'll let the rest of it just deal with itself. Good job, Quill. That morale low, I think, was on the gargoyles. It looked like it was coming here, but I think just it was the angle we were looking at. I'm assuming the enemy is losing morale by the fact that we are murdering a bunch of them. Hey, that shield wall here was maybe to protect the archer when it was running away. Not to mention do some tanking here. Does casting Rock Blast cost you anything that persists beyond this fight, or is there specific combat mana? So, there's not a specific combat mana. So there's mana in general, which is how you pay for your spells. In addition to that, you have your casting skill. Now, there's combat casting, and there's strategic casting point or world casting point. I don't know. So this determines how much mana you can spend per combat. So even though we still have mana left over, we've run out of combat casting, so we're not going to be casting any more spells as combat regardless, even though we still have mana left over. But we've got a separate pool right over here for our world map casting. All right, so we killed those. I mean, we take a fair amount of damage, but that's okay. We got some more production boost, which is great. And we just finished researching Earthkin here. So first, we're going to pick our new research. So Wayfinder Enchantment and Enchanted Crow Companion, these are both general research. Everyone will always have access to this. This boosts the vision of your scout. This boosts the movement of your scout. These unit enchantments, I think all of them cost 2 mana per unit. They might vary. But so they're kind of like the cost to cast them, I think, is always the same. But what's nice about it is even if it's a spell that only affects a few of your units, it's not that painful to cast because the upkeep will be quite low. Whereas if it's a spell that's going to boost tons of your unit, you get tons of benefit for it, but the maintenance cost is also something you got to think about. The advantage as well to researching the Wayfinder enchantment is, or these are only going to take 2 turns each. Every 4 researches you do, you pick a new tome, which is kind of nice. Now, Stone Skin's very tempting. This is a combat buff spell. So it gets a unit Stone Skin for 3 turns, which does give them a fair amount of defense and resistance. I think I like the idea of having my scouts have more vision and movement, or maybe early on. So I think I'm going to grab one of these. Let's do Wayfinder. So we'll research that and we might cast it. But more importantly, I want Earthkin, although we spend a lot of mana in that fight, so I can't do it right now. I want this because I want all my dwarf units to have the +1 defense built in. We've also got enough affinity now, so we could go for basic seafaring. We could also go for consolidated industry, but these would cost Imperium, and I think I want the Imperium for a new city. Does the Enchanted Crow have visual bird by scout? I think a lot of the unit enchantments actually do add visuals. Sometimes like sparky weapons and stuff, but I think it does add a visual crow. I'm not certain. Let's go and just get our health. There you go. We got our Grand Mill thanks to that production boost. Let's see. In 2 turns, I'm going to have 215. Oh, I shouldn't have run back. I know I want to heal faster, but I mean, it's too late now. But I do want to plant an outpost. So I can actually boost the production of our population a little bit faster right away. So again, I could look at what kind of discounts might be available for these. If we can get a second farm, our stonemason has a discount. If we get a quarry or shrine has a discount. These are all really nice. I mean, the shrine gives us more mana, which is really appealing. But I do feel like money is a big limiting factor in this game. So I do like to build the mines. Not as many things get a boost for mines, but I think it's because mines are kind of valuable in and of themselves because of the money. In any case, I think I want to grab this tile next because it's got the gold mine built in, the gold vein for +10 gold. We could build a farm. We could build a forester. Well, there's the Wonder Shifting Spire. We'll poke around at it certainly soon. I think it's bronze level. Oh, that might be gold. It might be gold, which is going to be kind of tricky. My money's fine now, but it will go away really fast. No, the gold vein doesn't give an extra bonus because of the mine or anything like that. Still, I think I'm gonna go for a mine. I think as a general rule, if I can build a mine, I usually will. So we're gonna do that because money is good. Although here I could build a quarry, and our quarries do give us gold, like only 2 instead of 5, but it's still something. So we'll do that. Because here's the thing, right? Quarries give production, lumber, or foresters give some food and some production. Production means you build buildings faster, but you can only build the buildings you got money in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and get a vendor now. It's boosted and get our gold income. That'll satisfy some people. The other thing I'm going to do is this Arbalest. I'm going to go and just hurry it so that we can go and add it to this army ASAP. I do want more troops, but I'm kind of holding out a little bit until we can get some better ones. I don't know. We should probably start some more unit production as well. Let me get a new anvil guard. Yeah, we'll move the Arbalest in there. Have you chill out anyway. And yeah, we got a shifting spire over here. So these are ancient wonders. Yeah, it's gold 1, very high difficulty. When we do, if we clear this out, we have to fight for it. If we clear this out, we can then annex it to the city and get some pretty substantial benefits. In addition to that, I mean, we get even more benefits and things like that. clearing this tends to also give us items, mystery bonus of some kind. So they're very good, but there's no way we can go do a gold difficulty one right now. We're gonna need some higher tier stuff. Yeah, unlocks bone dragons for us later on. The hostile Flare Spire. So this is another free city, but this one I think we start at war. We little ancients of Flare Spire will fight for our freedom and stand against anyone who threatens our free city, even when they're led by a first protector like you. The blood of invaders, thieves, and spies will nourish the fields. You're at war with Flare Spire. It's like, all right, fine, be that way. God. We can make peace by giving them money. We could also just go over there and kick their butts. Oh, our scouts are getting us mana, they're getting us money. Name Day celebration. Oh, Silverwall, who I'm trying to make friends with. The great first protector Quill 18! We of Silverwall hereby humbly invite you to join the Name Day celebrations of our guildmistress, Sandra Dent. We would be honored if you would attend, and we look forward to your gift. You're invited to celebrate the Name Day. What gift do you bring? Order your finest artist to paint a flattering portrait of guildmistress Sandra. So we use up some of our gold, but we would get 200 extra mood, which I don't know what the breakpoints are in terms of... Actually, are we neutral with these guys? No, well, yeah, diplomatic stance of neutral. Our relations are 250, so I don't know what the relation breakpoints are for getting even more allegiances per turn. That would be kind of useful to know, I suppose. We could also do a small trinket, so spend less money, get less sway. Or we could say, my gift is that Guildmistress Sandra Dent is allowed to live another day. This would swing us towards evil and also hurt our relations, which doesn't seem very helpful. Make an excuse. So let's spend as much as possible here, and let's take a look. So did this bring us to the next level? They're now, I don't think they were trusting. They were at 250 before, which I think was respected. We are now at trusting. Hey, I don't know where the breakpoints are. It's probably listed somewhere. But it is definitely increasing the rate, I think, at which we gain allegiance. Yeah, +3. So we're getting +1 before it respected. We're getting +3 at trusting. So it is actually very useful over there. Thank you. Breakpoints are 200, 400, and 600. Thanks, Kazi. That's really helpful. All right, you are basically fully healed. So let's head back west over here, and with the plan to like plant another city down, or an outpost first. Wayfinder Enchantment is done researching. We are now going to research, okay, Gargoyle gives us a new unit we can build. Summon Lesser Stone Spirit lets us summon a unit, and we can summon it anywhere we have vision. So it's a good way to reinforce our existing armies, really handy. The Gargoyles are quite cool. They're tier 2 shock units, so they're like shock units, yeah, do good damage, they got a charge attack. They do get countered by polearms, but they're very handy. I kind of like the idea of having the ability to do a summon. And yes, all these lesser spirits can evolve if they live long enough. If they level up to, I think, champion level of XP, which does incentivize, if we get a hero and we give them the trait where their units in the army get more XP, if we load them up with stone spirits, it will increase the odds that they upgrade to higher and higher levels. I think I'm going to grab this because I like the flexibility of having a summon spell. Now, we have enough mana, actually, we've had it for a turn or two, I think, to do, well, we could do our Wayfinder Enchantment to make our scouts move faster, but I'm going to prioritize Earthkin here. Once we finish this, our dwarves forever will get a permanent bonus to their defense. Love it. We need a hero, yep. You can recruit more heroes over here, but our hero cap is determined by the number of cities we've got. So right now we'd go over our hero cap if we did that. Now, where are we going to want to plant our new city? I want enough space between Brussels. Now, Flare Spire is at war with us. They will occasionally, like, generate an army to come in and hit us in the face, which is annoying. I think I will go and just grab this area here. I think it's going to be adjacent to some nice stuff. It's sort of in between two different cities, you know, that we'll eventually probably go and capture. I think that's my plan. Oh, hey, there's another Ancient Wonder here. This one's silver. So it's a little easier, but still not the easiest. Let's go and plant a city here. One of the things I learned, so this little tile here, this is specifically where the outpost is going to be founded. Outposts then later on get upgraded to cities. An enemy can go and stand on this tile and block you from upgrading it to a city. because it's occupied. In fact, not just an enemy, sometimes your friends will do it, which is annoying, except it's exactly the sort of thing you or I would do. Right? Ally a computer, but get in their way. I suspect some of that might get tweaked at some point in terms of how that actually works. So I'm just going to camp on this thing until the outpost at least gets set up, and then we'll go and boop some enemies again. Large creature cage. Cage with trapped creature. Moving your army onto it will allow the creature to join your ranks. Ooh.